Alright, this week I'm going to talk through my experience starting rowing at Oxford University this term, and I'll also take you through a painful erg session that I did on a friend's rowing machine, so you get to see my pain face. So yeah, I'll go over basically how I got into the Worcester College Boat Club and the senior men's rowing team, and the races I took part in as well. So here we go, enjoy. Oh, you can use the, I think YouTube calls them chapters thing, to skip to the bit you want to. That way you don't have to listen to me on a bike ride or rambling about other things. So there we go. Okay, so I've just finished the warm-up for my erg this evening, and an erg is basically a session on an indoor rowing machine. Here is an indoor rowing machine. Don't know if that's helpful or not. One of my family friends has kindly let me use it every now and then over the Christmas holidays to keep up the ability to row, the technique to row, because it's a bit complicated and I struggle a little bit every now and then. So I think my set tonight is 6/500s sort of sprint at a specific rate, so taking a certain number of strokes per minute. I sort of have to max it at that stroke rate. And yeah, I'm here because there is a competition on at Worcester College Boat Club. So essentially whoever works the hardest in the Christmas holidays gets a free bit of stash, we call it, which is college rowing kit. And it's quite expensive, so I'd quite like to get that free bit of kit. So yeah, this is why I'm doing this. It's going to be painful, it's going to be sweaty, but I'm going to do it anyway. Wish me luck. Halfway sit rep, dying. Last one, let's go. Died. Properly dead. This is why I got told not to stop rowing. You get obsessed, and it's downhill into a pit of pain, red faces, and sweating. So it's Sunday, and I'm out on what was a terrible morning. It was so misty and freezing, and actually it still is freezing. You can see all the water that is beaded on my sunglasses. But now the sun has come out, and it just makes everything better. My bike is nice and dirty, but we'll manage. This is good work for the aerobic capacity for rowing as well. Just a car went past there, and that is obviously the most important thing at the moment. Got to win that free Worcester College Boat Club kit. Got to win it. Yay! It's misty again. Can't see anything, and I'm getting a bit chilly. I think I'm about halfway home, so carry on listening to a cheeky podcast and just chilling out before I go home, bake some cookies and do some work. Fun. Okay, so the main premise of this video, explaining the start of my rowing career at an Oxford college. So during Freshers Week, Worcester College Boat Club put on sort of a taster session for all the freshers and even people who had been there for a couple of years but wanted to try rowing out. A couple of taster sessions, followed by a barbecue, which is always good for drawing people in. So we went out on that. It was a lovely day and I really enjoyed it. I wasn't very good, couldn't figure out what to do when, but still enjoyed it a lot. And from then I managed to get on a couple of novice outings later on in the week and during first week as well. And then I think maybe second week I did my first erg in the famous erg shed at Worcester College. Literally a hut made of wood with 8 indoor rowing machines in it, so very high tech. And I was doing that, and the senior men's captain came in looking for people willing to do early morning sessions. And seeing as I used to swim very regularly and I used to wake up at sort of 5 o'clock in the morning to go swimming, I'm used to, or I can still wake up very early to go rowing very early in the mornings. So I offered to do that and he said, yes, thank you very much. So from then on, I basically started training with the senior men, because unfortunately, Worcester College Boat Club does not have enough senior men, which is a shame, but it did mean that I got to learn really quickly in a boat full of really good rowers. So yeah, me and one other novice got put into that boat, and then a third person joined us later on in the week. So from then on, I was sort of doing an erg a week, usually during the evenings, with the other senior men, or with some of them, because some of them also don't want to do it. And also going on 1 or 2 morning outings with them, which was, it was really good because it meant I learned really quickly. And also froze because it was freezing. So I think it might have been week 4 or 5. Our coach, who is an interesting character. He's a good coach, but he is a bit abrupt sometimes. He entered us into the IWL, which is the ISIS Winter League. And the ISIS is the stretch of river that Oxford colleges row on. And the ISIS Winter League is a sort of a time trial series where each college rows the stretch of the river and gets timed for it. So we took part in that, and he made us do it twice, which was nice, even though most colleges would do it once. So we did it twice, and we did averagely well, considering we had 3 novice rows in the boat. Nothing spectacular, but it was good fun. And then as the weeks went on, I carried on doing the training, and maybe end of week 6, start of week 7, I got asked to go to the Cambridge Christmas Head, I think it was called, which is a similar type of race to IWL, but in Cambridge, against Cambridge colleges and against other Oxford colleges as well. I'm not quite sure how it works because I didn't go in the end. That was the weekend I was going home for a bit of a break, so unfortunately I didn't get to go to Cambridge, but hopefully I will soon. And then after that, they're still doing all the training. The next races we did was the Christchurch Regatta, which was the sort of big, as I mentioned, the big novice intercollegiate competition at Oxford, and it was such good fun. The atmosphere was great. Everyone was new. Everyone was worried about catching crabs, which is a mistake that you can make in rowing. You can look them up. They're quite funny. So everyone was quite worried about everything, but we were having great fun. I got made the captain of the Worcester College men's novice team, and I got put in stroke, which is the seat at the back of the boat, so everyone needs to follow what you're doing. So I was quite pleased with that. So we were entered for 2 races on the Wednesday and the Thursday, and if we won them, we could progress into the following rounds. Now, as I've mentioned, the Worcester College men's senior team cannot get enough people, so the novices was almost harder. So we had 2 people from another college rowing with us, and they were great. We had lots of fun together doing some of the early morning training sessions they joined us for. So in the first race, it was quite interesting, and I should explain that the Christchurch Regatta works a bit different to IWL, so it's not a pure time trial. It's 2 colleges rowing side by side, and whoever gets to the end first wins, basically. It's quite a short race, definitely a sprint. So getting a good start is key, and we did get a very good start, but unfortunately we had a power imbalance in the boat, so one side was much stronger than the other, so we started drifting into the other college's lane, and the other college clearly had a power imbalance as well, so they started drifting towards us. So we had to stop. We got klaxon, which means that the race has to basically stop completely and start again. So we managed to restart, and at this point, one of us got a quarter crab. It's basically where you get your oar stuck under the water, and it's quite problematic. So we basically had to stop again while the other college was carrying on going, and we had to restart again. At this point, we were sort of a boat length behind them, so we were playing catch up, and by the end we were sort of level with them. Sort of our bow was level with their stern, but there was nothing we can do, unfortunately. So yeah, that was the first day, and then the second day we were against another college, but unfortunately at this point someone had been injured and someone else couldn't make it, so it meant that we had to get 2 of our senior rowers in to fill the places, and this meant that we had to compete as like a friendly team because we weren't technically all novice rowers. So even if we won this race, we couldn't progress to the next round, which was a shame, but we were feeling good despite the mistakes from the previous day. We were feeling confident, and we went into it and we absolutely smashed it. They were a really good college. I think we were racing Pembroke. They were really good, but we were just that little bit better, and it was great. The feeling was great, and even though we couldn't progress thanks to that win, it was good to know that we had done really well. So yeah, it was so much fun. Unfortunately, it did mean that my work got completely delayed, and as I mentioned in the previous video, my essay writing just got rushed because I hadn't done any work on those 2 days I was at the Christchurch Regatta. But never mind, it was definitely worth it. And then, yeah, the final bit of rowing I did was in the last week of term. We had another round of the IWL, and this time it snowed while we were racing, which was quite cool, but also really grim. It was really, really cold, and yeah, we did slightly better than the first round of the IWL, but our boat was even less Worcester College than the previous time. We had 4 people from Queen's College, so we were like a Worcester boat, I think we called ourselves. But yeah, so that is sort of a summary of the rowing I've done at Oxford. Might be interesting, might not be interesting. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned. Just one extra thing. Do the sarcastic comments I make on my own videos about myself make sense? Let me know.